What's the most overrated city in the world? Nake. In the summer. Smells like hot garbage. In the winter, getting around is expensive to impossible unless you have an Arctic expedition level coat and gloves. COL is so high. People pay $1,000 for a closet-sized apartment. Lunch out is $25 for soup. People are not rude, but tragically indifferent. The food scene is remarkable, but great restaurants close all the time. People who have lived their entire lives in NYC are just different. In a post-apocalyptic acceptance of circumstances, the Gulf will take care of me kinda way. Berlin is good for wanting clubbing. If that's all you want to do, then it's amazing. Apart from that, it's a terrible city. It's often eerily empty, ugly, filthy and replete with bad weather and crappy connectivity elsewhere. The food is mediocre, and the people are often insufferable pretentious creatives, while it's run by one of the most inept local governments imaginable. Dublin. Rent is sky high, houses unaffordable, infrastructure decaying thanks to the Greens, a cycle lane on nearly every major road. Your options from the airport are a bus, yes. That's your sole public transport option, or any overpriced taxi. Oh, and the scumbags, teenagers, and drug dealers have taken over a lot of the city. But there's the Guinness storehouse, I guess. Rome was the city that was most disappointing to me. I found it to be a touristy nightmare with people trying to sell you garbage trinkets, scam you everywhere. But I was one of the tourists, so I suppose I can't complain too much. Conversely, I was blown away by Florence. The whole city looked like a work of art. Oh my god, LA. You want to be as a city, and is always burning hot, expensive to even breath. Homelessness are everywhere and annoying people with no talent trying to be influencers. For what? To say, yeah, I live in LA. San Diego. We have a serious mentally ill homeless population, and downtown, the showcase of every metropolis, literally smells like urine, and there's human poop on the sidewalk on any given day. It is not America's finest city. London. All some areas have some unique architecture. A lot of it is ugly building like house. London plus. It's overpriced IMO. When it comes to Europe. Paris. Barcelona. Berlin. It is just so hard for me to understand why local police tolerates pickpocketers, beggars and troubled youth. New York. Went there in 2012 and it was dead in the middle of the week everywhere. Vancouver had better nightlife in the midweek. Little Italy was the only good part. Detroit. I went there so many times, and not only was I not murdered, but I wasn't shot at, carjacked or even shot at. Didn't live up to its reputation. Toronto. They erased their history, landmarks, and replaced them with unaffordable condos. Plus, it's now full of car theft, jacking, violence, and 24/7 traffic. Nick. It's too crowded. The pizza was whack. Food was okay. And the landmarks aren't cracked up to what they are. Central Park is very beautiful though. Paris, by far, there's even a syndrome named after it, defined as a state of severe culture shock when Paris fails to live up to the expectations. Probably Denver. CO. You're not even that close to the mountains. I would suggest Colorado Springs. CO or Pueblo. CO as a better alternative. The city that combines all the worst parts of New York City with the traffic of LA and geographical proximity climate of Cleveland, Toronto. Paris. As even Paris syndrome, to describe the crushing depression tourists feel when they realize it's nothing like they imagined. You always hear about people wanting to go to Paris, but apparently it sucks, and they hate tourists. Also, never go to Cairo. Paris. I speak French and was still met with super rude people, underwhelming food, overpriced accommodations, and racism. I find it funny that the most common account has 4 numbers at the end of it. Seems like bots are responding. Amsterdam. Remove the Instagram filter and it's pretty bland if you're not into drugs and paid sex. Depends on what you're looking for. Everything shines. Until someone tells you it's a spotlight. Dubai and Vegas instantly come to mind, but Dublin, where I live, is not a cup of tea either. No one mentions New York. I feel like everyone I knew who went there as tourist hated it. Los Angeles, Orange County, Disneyland. There is nothing to see here. Please go away. I'm surprised no one came here to say New York. Literally just tall buildings and a park. Las Vegas. The only people who go there are poor trash who like becoming even poorer. Dubai might be the only place I've ever visited with absolutely zero personality. Any of the ones they overuse in movies. Make a movie in Columbus or Des Moines. Pleasanton, KS. Even if it was rated 0.1 star, it would be rated to high. The traffic is a shit show and I saw a lot of trash on the streets. Los Angeles. Don't bother coming here unless for a specific purpose. Camden, NJ. Not nearly as wonderful as everyone makes it out to be. Dubai. Not a fan of the soulless Instagram influencer lifestyle. Paris. I always found it dirty. But I get why people love it. They are cities, they aren't people. They're all overrated.